So I crashed my Yamaha R1. I didn't intend to, but nonetheless, it happened. So just got back from 3 days at Mentor Park with Philip Backlund Track Days, 3 days racing, had a hell of a good time, raced with a lot of friends of mine, and we had some rain, not too bad, but quite a lot of rain, but that part of Sweden is pretty unpredictable weather-wise, and just as well, we had a bit of wind, so that dried the track out. I only went out on slicks, so I didn't even race in the rain. So I told myself before going, I just got brand new fairings on, freshly painted. I spent ages, probably way too long, putting all the decals on the fairings, and promised myself, don't do anything rash, don't take too many chances, don't do anything stupid or overexcited. So I do take some chances when racing, you kind of have to, but some of them have to be a bit more calculated. But what happened was, I was racing two friends of mine, saw an opening, went for it, and yeah, this is what happened. As far as crashing goes on the track, I got off pretty easy, I would say. This was just a second gear, low side, right-hand side, so not too much speed, but I guess anything can happen when you crash. As you probably noticed on the video, I kept my hand on the bike, kept it pulled towards me, so it didn't really run away and hit the curbs and started flying. So, first thing, my body's okay. I don't really feel much. Maybe a bit sore neck. That could be just from 3 days of racing. Not too sure, but I feel okay. And I always wear the correct safety gear on track. So I have proper helmet, proper boots, proper gloves, and I always ride with an airbag system in my one-piece leather suit. So let's check out the damage. Like you noticed on track, this was a right-hand side, low side, so I kept my hand on the handlebar, pulling the bike towards me, so that kind of limited the damage. It didn't flip on the other side, even though we both went over the curb. So let's start from the back. So first things first, these Yamahas have a tendency, if you flip them on the right side, they totally crush the exhaust or the end can. And this actually escaped pretty easily. I put one of these sliders on, and that had like a small scrape there, so it didn't really hit much there. So the only part of the exhaust that actually got a bit of damage is here, just at the beginning of the end can. So that's just a rivet and like a stainless steel band around the exhaust that got a bit of a hit, but 100% functional. So I'm not going to do much about that. So the rear axle, I have an axle slider on it. That took a bit of the damage, and so did the bobbin as well. The bobbin didn't break. These can sometimes break, but it didn't happen this time. And this is also a really important part. So I don't want to end up damaging the rear axle. I'm going to have to replace that. So this is just a cheap plastic thing from China. So just got that cheaply, so I can get that replaced easily and cheaply. So the rear set, that's a bit different though. These Bonamici rear sets, they're pretty expensive. So the entirety of the rear set is okay. So everything bolted to the frame of the bike is okay. It's actually just the shifter not just shifter, the rear brake that got a bit knocked up. So the footrest itself, that broke. The pedal here itself has a small scrape on it. Not that bad. See if it'll focus. Not that bad. So it looks like if I change the bolt on this, I might be able to pull it out, and the lever itself isn't really damaged. So nothing on the engine cover here, only here. So these, I think they stand out too much. I don't know why, but these get easily damaged. So that's through the plastic and has a part of the aluminium as well. So I haven't removed this yet. So I'm a bit concerned that that shiny aluminium you see in there is part of the engine and not part of that cover here. And if that's the case, I'm going to have to find a different type of cover that has some reinforcement on the inside, because if being that this was only second gear at low speed and it managed to go that far through, I'm going to have to do something different there. And the frame slider as well, that did its job quite exceptionally. And this is also just a cheap part from China. I like the expensive stuff, but I don't want to have to pay for it. And this is just a piece of plastic with some aluminum inside, or aluminium inside, and that fared well. So that's easily replaced. So my my lovely new painted fairings, they got a bit of damage. Not too bad, but a scrape, nothing broken actually, and not on the bottom pan anyways. Although it got a small hit here at the front fairing, so that cracked a little bit. I can probably just easily reinforce that with some new glass fiber. So a small crack in the inside, that might just have been that small impact just when it hit the ground. And the same for the front brake. Both the lever got a small scrape. It's fine, it didn't break or anything, so that's okay. And then the guard here, the brake guard, maybe I can just, I don't know, Dremel that down, get that good looking nice again. A small bit of black paint, and that should be okay. So that's pretty okay, I would say. Nothing on the other side at all. So never even hit that side, and the bike runs fine, sounds well, everything is good. So yeah, not too much on the bike though. So easy things, a bit of plastics, just these things that actually did their job really well, protecting the bike, and maybe I can just replace the bolt on the rear set and get that thing aligned up again, and everything is all hunky-dory. So here's the suit. A small bit of damage, so I slid on my right cheek, as you can see here. My airbag deployed, which is this is an RST suit with an in-motion system, so that all deployed. So I'm gonna have to replace the canister in one of those. I have a couple of extras, so I just throw them back in and calibrate the suit, and that should be good. The only thing that's a bit concerning is the hole here in the back. So it actually punched a hole through the suit itself. Now this outer layer, it's not really that important. I have a back protector inside, so it just sits on the back protector. So I'm just gonna have to put some type of patch on top of that, and a bit more damage here on top. Also, the shoulder got a big scrape, the elbow got a scrape, but no holes. See here, this is just the outside that it's kind of torn to pieces, but it doesn't have a hole through it. That's my old suit. That had a couple of crashes as well, and that still stood up as well. So yeah, it's just gonna have to go through this. If it's any way, shape or form damage beyond what I see here, of course I'll consider even wearing it. But as it looks like now, it seems to be okay. Doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with the bike, mechanically anyways. Let's fire it up, see what it sounds like. So push the ignition, and here we go. Boy! Nope, it runs just fine. Listen to this. Yep, still sounds fruity. Is there anything to be learned from this? Of course there is. Sometimes shit just happens. Sometimes shit happens to us. In this case, shit just happened. I took a chance. There's no one else to blame but myself. I fell off the fucking thing. I only broke parts of the bike, didn't break any part of me. It could easily have happened. And in that case, maybe I would just be a bit more pissed off. Sometimes we just scratch these things we really like, end up throwing a spanner across the across the workshop, being pissed off at ourselves. And sometimes, well, just gonna have to shake it off. And this is, in that case, one of these instances. So this is part of doing what we do. I can't expect to ride on the racetrack and not fall off. This just happens. I have to embrace that, and I have to acknowledge that, and I do. It still pisses me off when it happens, but all things considering, I got off easy. Maybe the next time I won't get off that easy, but there's still experiences to be had, and things to learn, I guess. So I'm gonna have to get this thing fixed. I have a new track day in about 4 weeks time, so gonna have to order some small things. Have to maybe mend a couple of things. I don't know about the fairings. I think I'm just gonna leave them, maybe clean them, because with my luck, I'm gonna paint them again. I'm gonna fall off the fucking thing again, and I'm gonna have to go through that whole circus one more time. But if you like this, please like and follow and subscribe, and look for more content. Not always racing. It can have, yeah, a lot of different themes in it. But one thing is for sure, and that is it all has to do with some type of motorcycling. So just ride, and I'll see you out there. Cheers, guys.